So the next video I'm going to talk about Renee Bach. Now, I don't know if you heard about her, but she's basically been accused of murdering 100 babies. So I think you know where I'm going with this video. So I actually found this out because someone circulated this information on Twitter. Basically, Renee Bach is a white American woman who moved to Uganda, and she basically set up a clinic there, and she has no medical training. She's a missionary, and we all know what white missionaries have done in Africa before. But let me not go there. Basically, she's, been treating people, and she's been responsible for the deaths of 100 black babies, and she's been sued for it. But my thing is, only sued, should she not be in jail? I found this information out just by doing the Google search, because obviously, they have the information on Twitter, but it's not all the information. So I decided to do a Google search to find out some more information for myself. So this is on News One. I'm going to post a link down below. Excuse me. So it says Renee Bach is a US missionary with no medical training who left Virginia in 2007 and went to Uganda. By 2012, she founded a private NGO and healthcare facility called Serving His Children. She allegedly led people to believe she was a doctor, and 100 babies reportedly died around her fraudulent. AllAfrica.com claims she took children with malnutrition from local hospitals and treated them at SHC, and she is now being sued. Two women named Gimbo Zubida and Kaki Rose, alongside civil society organisation Women's Pro Bono Initiative, said in a press release the mothers alleged that they were led to believe that Miss Renee Bach was a medical doctor, and that her home was a medical facility, as she was often seen wearing a white coat, a stethoscope, and often administered medications to children in her care. However, when their own children died, it was revealed that Bach had no training in medicine, and that in 2015, the district health officer had closed her facility and ordered her not to offer any treatment to any child. They accused Bach and SHC of causing the deaths of hundreds of children, amounting to violations of human rights, including violation of children's right to access adequate treatment, the right to health of the children, the right to life, the right to be free from discrimination on the basis of race and socio-economic standing, and the right to dignity, freedom from torture, inhuman and degrading treatment. They are asking for the SHC to be closed and cease to operate in Uganda. They are also asking for general damages to be awarded to the aggrieved families complaining herein. An article in September 2018 from Medium describes a horrific Bach who learned medical procedures from watching YouTube. Bach was doing high-level medical practices and openly talked about enjoying hands-on medical care. It appears that Renee Bach is still in Uganda. The Independent reports in 2016 she relocated to a different area of Uganda under the government-owned Kukandalo Health Centre IV. One Twitter user reported she was supposed to be in court in March, but the case was delayed to 2020. Hopefully, Renee Bach will be held accountable for her actions. Our condolences go out to every parent who lost their child under her devilish care. So I've just read to you the article that gives you more information about this whole situation with Renee Bach. I don't understand why she's just been sued. And it's one of those things where, like, the audacity once again of white people to infiltrate Africa and, try to better them somehow. Like, you have no medical training, you have no medical background, you are not a doctor, you learned shit from YouTube. Like, it's one thing to learn how to fix a broken phone case or fix a broken phone screen on YouTube, but it's completely different when it comes to the lives of children. Like, 100 children have died, and she doesn't see anything wrong with what she has done. And the fact she took children out of hospitals and took them to her facility, and then the children ended up dying, and these children were suffering from malnutrition. They needed to be in the hospitals so they could have, so they could have the right amount of treatment, so they can put weight on. And she's taking them to her facility, and then the children end up dying. It's murder, plain and simple. It's murder. And I don't understand how on earth she's still in Uganda. Like, unless she's in a Ugandan jail, I don't understand why she's still there. It doesn't make any sense. And what bothers me more is, yes, it's definitely racism, because she's getting away with it. In this Africa, it's a predominantly black continent. She's in Uganda, which is also a predominantly black country, right? And yet she's killed hundreds of children and she's not been arrested. That boggles the mind. It really does. And we all know that missionaries generally are Christians, and we've all seen what missionaries like to do. They like to go to countries in Africa. They like to go to countries in the Caribbean. They did this during slavery, and they wanted to teach everybody about how the Lord will favor them if you read the Bible and you become Christians. And you need to free yourself. But like, at the end of the day, you were banning people from reading, but you wanted them to read the Bible. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then for this woman to come into a black country such as Uganda and basically decimate black children's lives, I don't even have the words to describe that. It's horrific. It's barbaric what she has done. It's pure evil, and she's getting away with it because of that white privilege. She's really getting away with it because of that white privilege, and no one can tell me different. They can't tell me different. I'm going to say what I have to say. She's getting away with it because of that white privilege. And justice needs to be served. So I don't want to rant on too long in this video, but I'm basically giving you the breakdown just in case you didn't know about this situation. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. She is a devil woman, basically. Another devil woman. I mean, I try not to, be racist or whatever and label and tar every white person with the same brush. But a heck of a lot of you, like the majority of you, are racist. And I wish you would just admit it, because this is racism plain and simple. Because she knows full well, if she'd done this to 100 of white children, she would have gone straight to jail. But because she chose to focus her attention on black children, which nobody cares about, that's why she ain't in jail yet. Plain and simple. So don't forget to let me know your thoughts down below about this whole situation. And Renee Bach, you are going to burn in hell, trust me on that.